This is my grandpa and grandmother here.
The roots here run deep for Stanley Madison.
And we took off running and never looked back.
Located just 4 miles outside of Princeton in Gibson County sits the community of Lyles Station, one of the nation's first known black settlements. The Madisons and other descendants of the founding families still live in the farming community, and they enjoy sharing the successful history of their hometown.
This is how we would beat the wheat to get the heads of the wheat to come apart so we can make flour and make our bread and stuff.
Before Indiana reached statehood in 1816, a small group of freed blacks from the South settled just 35 miles north of the Mason-Dixon line, near the Patoka, Wabash, and White Rivers. The fertile land helped in cultivating a self-sustaining farming society unlike any other. The farms became so massive and productive, a rail line was added to get out crops and connect the black community to others nearby.
The farming community here has been feeding their families and all around the world.
Madison says there's no doubt that rural farmers helped in growing the Hoosier state, but the role of this all African-American farming community is rarely in the spotlight.
That's a story that's never been told about African Americans have contributed to help build this nation to what we see today. And it was hard work, hard, really sweat labor of working on the farm.
Some of that hard labor is still felt today.
I didn't even know it till today, so it was just crazy.
You're learning all kinds of things today, aren't you?
And the little arms and hands of young Hoosiers.
That's a washboard, that's metal. That's for regular clothes.
In 1997, Madison helped create the Lyles Station Historic Preservation Corporation. The not-for-profit organization restored the old Lyles Consolidated School building. It's now used as a museum and history center where visitors can experience the life of some of the first families who lived there.
We're making candles and we're doing what they used to do back then.
At the heart of this living history site is the Heritage Classroom.
And she would do the flashcards for the kids, and they would kind of sound these sounds out.
From the original McDuffie readers to the desk frames and the chalkboards, the classroom is set up just like one in the early 1900s. And for Madison, this classroom is a reminder of the role education played in launching Lyles Station natives.
And they started out in a little small community like Lyles Station, but their dreams and what they could see in the future was out there, and they worked real hard to make that happen.
Some of those stories include Hoosiers like Alphonso Fields, who would go on to become the first black chief butler at the White House. He would spend 21 years in the position, working through the Hoover, Roosevelt, and Eisenhower administrations. His journals would later fuel a book and a stage play about his life that first started here in Lyles Station.
And we've been here ever since, been right here. And there's no other place to go. Right here is home base.
And that home base is growing. Plans are already in the works to add to this historic Hoosier site. Shelby Coates, 44 News.